today I'm going to show you how to do the layers for 3D layers, the outside layers and the inside layers of the letters. I'm going to use a program called Inkscape. It's free, and I'm going to leave you the link below so you are able to download this if you don't have it already on your computer. So what I'm going to start with first is bringing in my file, and for example I'm going to use the S open, right? Sometimes take a little while. Here, okay, here we have the file. As you can see, I purchased a file that have everything. I have all the layers, even though sometimes I tend to update this one, you know, I have it a bit bigger, the silhouette a bit bigger, but I'm going to show you as well how to do this. I'm going to separate these. I'm going to delete all these. I'm not able to share with you these files, but I can leave you below the places where you can purchase it if you would like. So as you can see, this file already have these layers, so I don't have to create them, but sometimes it depends of your design, you want to do little changes. I want to show you how to do these layers. Okay, I'm going to delete this too. For example, most of the time when you purchase a file, it comes just with this the front part and the other parts that you to create the 3D letter. It doesn't come with anything else. So for you to be able to create the layers, and if you have a Cricut, this is very handy because we don't have this option in the design space. You have that in the silhouette program. If you buy business, then you can the business option you can bring into the design space. But if you don't, it's very bad because you can do these in design space. So now I'm going to show you how to do these layers using Inkscape, which is free, and then you can export that to Cricut Design Space. But it's very easy and handy to have. You can use it for the 3D layers, for your K-toppers layers, for any other type of projects that you want to create. So here we have the letter S. I'm going to show you first how to create an outside layer. Okay. So I'm just going to duplicate this because I want you to see the difference between what we will be creating here. And we have the S, and we're going to start doing an outside layer. We go to the bucket, this place here, right? And here on the top you can see this number. You can have there any number you want. It will all depend of your design. There is not a standard measurement for this. I'm going to start with 10 just for an example, and I'm going to click then the S. As you can see, it's bigger than the other one we have in here. Sometimes to move these. Okay, this one is it's smaller. So we already did the outside letter. If you want to do inside letter of this S, we're going to go to the bucket again, but then instead of having the 10 like this, we're going to write a -10. I will advise to have the same numbers so your letters kind of have a standard visual size, you know, like there's no one bigger than the other one. They all has a smooth number of layers and the size between them. But obviously, as I mentioned before, these will depend of your design. If you would like maybe one of your layers have a texture and pattern, you might decide that this layer you can see this layer more than the other one. Okay, so here I'm going to do then -10, change the color so you can see the difference. I'm going to touch the S, and that's it. You have created your first inside layer, inset layer. Okay, here. If you want to create another one, you can just click the bucket, pick another color, and have the next one. If you want to have, as I mentioned, a bigger layer, you can just go to the bucket, change here the 15 or like 20, let's say 20, so you can see the difference, and then go and click the letter, and you can see, and it's very small. Depends of your design. Let's say you want the yellow part to be a pattern and then you want to show that a lot, then you do the inside letter a bit smaller. I think this is a bit too small for me and I wouldn't like a design like that, but you never know. It depends on how your full design will look like. I'm going to change and I'm going to leave it the way it was before. Let's do it again. So we go to the bucket, we do 10, so they all have same size, and click it, and that's it. Now you have created all your letters for this S. I'm gonna try to print this back. Okay, there. Sorry. Okay, so we move this back. We click the first one. We put it in white so you can see the difference, and then we have the other layer. Okay, make it little blue. And that was the outset one. So the blue one was the one that we created, the outset one. Clicking on the bucket and adding here the plus, like leaving it like this without the minus. If you want to do then create the inside layers, right? We go here and we write a minus, and then you click inside the letter and it will create that. Then we have the normal layer that you will probably purchase when you get a file, and then you create the other two. Okay, so you have this one. With this one here, it's a bit different. If you purchase a file like I did and you have this type of layer like this, you will have to, and you want to do like a bit bigger, you have two options. I'm going to show you first option that you can do here in Inkscape, which is select the letter, go to path, object to path, object ungroup, path union, dynamic offset, and then we go to outset, and then you have like that. It's a bit bigger. See, the layer, the silhouette is bigger than it was before. I'm going to repeat this so you can see the difference. Okay. Okay. We go here, we select the letter, we go to path, object to path, object, ungroup, path, union, path, dynamic offset, and then we go outset, and it's bigger. As you can see, the difference between these two is just a bit. You can see if I bring this one up. Okay, see, it's a bit big. If you want to make it a bit more pronounced, you can click it and then click again outset, and it will go even bigger. I tend to do two outsets when I do this. Click outset twice, so it's in a decent silhouette size, because sometimes I just like this, because when you're doing the shakers and you tend to like, you know, have a finished work, and sometimes you see the acetate or the paper that you're using under this layer. So to make sure that this doesn't see or this is not showing, I tend to do it a bit bigger. I think it's easier for me to work in this way, but it's up to you as well. It depends on the design that you are creating. So this is one way how to do it. Why I don't use the bucket? But it's because if I use the bucket to do an outset, I delete the minus, as I told before, and let's say I click color. If I click this, it will give me the outset around, like it won't give me the silhouette, it will give me the full letter shape, and that is not what we want. What we want is just that silhouette of it. Okay, and that is why we're doing it in this way. If you want to do this outset, the silhouette size a bit bigger, this is one way, and the other way is bringing this into Design Space. But you will have to create these layers first in order to get this silhouette of the S. Okay, so I'm going to save this Design Space. We save as. Okay, and we're gonna write as Cricut is design space. Okay, DS. So we save it. Then we go into Cricut Design Space and we bring this in. We're going to upload. We go here. And we have what we have done in Inkscape. It's very easy because it saves in SVG. So when you open a file here in Cricut Design Space, it's very straightforward. So I'm gonna do this big, okay. Move this a bit. So I'm gonna group, and then you have all the layers that you can move, then change the color and do anything you want with them. So if you want to create this silhouette, we're gonna take as an example this S was the original one size that we get when you purchase a file or in whatever file you have. And if you wanted to create the silhouette, you need one of the layers that is smaller to put in here, right? To be able to slice. So what I do is like I align this center to make sure it's in the right place. Okay, click it, select it all, and you have you are allowed just to slice 2 items. So that is why we use just these 2, which slice it, and we create this silhouette. I'm gonna change the color so you can see it better, and that's it. And it's more or less this size. So this is the good thing of doing the layers, because then you can create these silhouettes. So if you didn't have this one, as I had it because I purchased, but even though I purchased it, I wanted to do a bit thicker. So I found a way how to do in Design Space just the outside, if I didn't want to create the layers. But if you don't have it and then you want to create the silhouette of letter, you just need to create the layers, have your original letter, and then create this. Now that we have created all these letters, I'm going to bring in the new, let's say that I have here, I'm going to upload my file with all the layers, so I show you how I add the silhouette. Okay, so I bring here to create my design. Let's say I'm gonna write Stephanie in 3D letters, so I have my full file here. I didn't, as I mentioned, I don't like this one, so I want to create this silhouette here. I'm gonna ungroup these, and I'm gonna delete this one, and I don't need these 2 layers because I'm gonna have a shaker. I'm gonna do a shaker, and the shaker will have these on top. Send to the front. I'm gonna check this size, 2362 to 362. I have to match the size of it, and 346, 3576, 3576. Then I can add it now on top of my 3D letter. As you can see, it fits properly, and it's a bit thicker than the one we had before. And I will feel more comfortable when I put together the whole shaker. You won't be able to see anything underneath, and it will have a better finish to the letter. and change the color so you can see it a bit better. So that is how it will look with all the layers. And then here is how you create it. If you don't have all these layers provided in your 3D file, you are able to create all of them using Inkscape. If you have any questions, just put them below and I will be able to answer all of them. So now I'm going to show you how to create the letter, and it's if I was going to show you to give this to one of my clients, and how to open the little hole for the light if you want to do a shaker with light. Okay, a shaker letter with light. So let's say this is what I purchased. I created my silhouette, which is a bit bigger, and I want to create my letter. So these two have to be the same color, right? And I'm gonna have this one in color as well. I click all of them, change to the same color, which is will be my base. Then I will have to change, because the file doesn't have them like this. I change these code bits, but these ones are the score lines. So I go here on top and I change to the score option, and now you can see these ones are the score lines. So when I send to my to cut, the machine will score these instead of cutting it. Okay, so now then you will be able to fold them, and the next step is to attach them. You can't forget to attach them, otherwise they won't score in the right place, or they might not even score at all. Okay, and then we attach it. That is how you create the first letter. The other step is this way. Do you want to do this as a shaker? Okay, so I tend to have a little background here, like a face. This is the back part, right? And I want to, let's see, this one is a bit bigger. Yeah, so I tend to just use a smaller layer just to add it to the back part. So when you put the let's say the face layer, which is the last one that you will see on the topper, on the letter, the 3D letter, you can see this color here, which can be depend of your design. Let's say you are able to use patterns as well. Say if you click here print, and then you can check here you can choose any pattern. Let's say, I don't know, you're doing something with frozen, and then you want to have snowflakes there. So look, you have a bit of snow. You are not able to see it properly, but that little pattern, right? And then if you put this one on top, that is what you will see. But this will also depends of your design. But this is an option that you can do. You can just select the layer, go to select the print option, and then when you're here, you can go to you can go color, or you can go the pattern and then pick the pattern. And Cricut have a few of them there, but you can also upload your own patterns and then add it to your design. I think I'm gonna keep this one, the flakes, the snowflake. This one is not, which is this one here, or it looks like one, but then it's just an example. Okay, then you can go back here to your letter and add this one on top, and that is how you create the design. Maybe if we change the color this to blue, will be a bit better. You can change it to purple. As I said, everything depends of your design and how you want it to look like. This is just showing you a little bit how I will be creating the letters if I have to give it to a client, and this is how I do it. Then depends if I start creating something on the outside of the letter, the name, or I don't know, the frozen characters, figures are here. After I have all of them on, let's say if I upload something just as an example, and we all, let's say I click this, insert, right, and let's say I want to put it in here. Okay, I will then decide where will I like the light, where will my light be good. And I could have it here, I could have it here. And so let's say I decide to have the light for the shaker in here. I move on my layers and I start with the first one, which will be this one. I go to shapes, go and create a circle, and the size that I tend to use is 0.50 here, and that is the number what I will be using. I don't know why it looks a bit bigger than it should be. Okay, I tend to use this because the letters are a bit smaller. So let's go back here for a sec. Okay, so I need to group all this. I group, and then I decide what size I want the letters. And let's say I'm doing 6 inches letter. Then I will do the same as I was doing now. So I ungroup everything, move my layers. I do it like this because I prefer to see once the letter, the design of the letter is done, and then where would the light fit better. And then I go to the shape as I was mentioning and showing. I go here and pick 0.50, and then it's how I have. See, the circle doesn't look as big now as the other letters, so that is why we need to fix the size first as well. So I decide to add the light here. Okay, what I do, I click both and slide, and then I have that there, which is done. What I do now, it's just to place the other layer on front. I align this, align center, so that is done. I click it, and again, the blue layer, I send it back, move backwards, so send it back. I add the same circle and I put it in the same hole, as you can see. Then I click this one, I hide this letter, select both, slide, and then I have these, I delete this, and then I unhide this again. And then my two layers will have the same hole for the light in the same place. I go back, move all my pieces here. And that is how I created an example, a frozen theme. Okay. So I make sure all my square lines are in place, they're all attached to my pieces. I have the hole for the shaker. I decide to have a layer for my background. The silhouette is a bit bigger that we create in Inkscape, or you can actually create that yourself using all the layers that we create in Inkscape. That is why I think that program is very good for people are used to use Cricut Design Space, and they don't have the Cameo or the Silhouette Business program, which I believe as a Cricut user, Cricut is so much easier to use, and I feel more comfortable using Cricut, even though I've taken some courses about the Silhouette product and the Silhouette software, and it's great, and it's very easy if you want to use it for the layers. It's amazing. But not having that program, and I purchased Cricut, and I think it's very good. I use Inkscape, so I use those two programs hand by hand. So I go there, I do my layers, I come back here and I do all this, which is very easy. So nothing too hard or difficult to learn. It's very straightforward creating the layers. And as I mentioned before, if you have any questions, just let me know and I will try to answer all of them in the comments. Ask as many questions you want. Ask them there so people that have the same question might have read it and answer their doubts. Okay, so thank you. I hope you like it. Sorry that I took too long to add another video, but I've been very busy, and I wanted to do something good that a lot of people are asking me, so I think this was one of them. Have a lovely day and see you soon, guys. Bye bye.